So in July, we are getting 3 big blockbusters, that being Jurassic World, Rebirth, Superman, and Fantastic Four First Steps. So they are all releasing in a very close release window that cannot be very good at the box office. But who knows? I know a lot of big blockbusters come out around this time. You know, that June, late June, going into July months, because that's pretty much the peak of summer. So a lot of big blockbusters are coming out. But this close together, how are all 3 going to win at the box office? How is that going to turn out? I'm going to predict and talk more about that today. So I'm just going to get through each of them, kind of talking about my predictions for them. Starting with Jurassic World Rebirth. Okay, this franchise, no matter how bad the movie, makes $1 billion. We saw that with Dominion. Jurassic World Dominion was awful. It is hard to talk about how bad that movie was, because I don't remember anything about it. But I remember only but bad things, except for maybe 2 cool moments out of the whole film. But Jurassic World Rebirth, I mean, okay, we got a new trailer during the Super Bowl. It looks like it could be the alien Romulus of the Jurassic World films. I've said that before. I mean, I think more people are going to come to their senses with this one and be like, Jurassic World needs to be taken down a few pegs, because after Dominion, they were just like, hey, we can do anything with this franchise, it's gonna make $1 billion. So I hope more people have came to their senses and be a little bit less trustworthy with this franchise. But hey, I have faith in Rebirth, and I honestly think it's still gonna be $1 billion movie. Big franchise, and hey. Superman. Okay. There is so much writing on this movie. This movie has to be successful for multiple reasons. For James Gunn, because DC's literally giving him an entire DC universe for the next several years. This is what DC's gonna have to go off of. Other than the Batman movies, this is everything that they're building from, is this film right here. And when this movie comes out on July 11th, so much is going to be known about the future of DC, what's going to be happening with this character and the other characters in DC, and how they're going to go from there. I think it's going to be a very successful film, even though DC has not proven that their movies are successful. But it's a Superman movie, and we haven't gotten a Superman movie in several years. Last one was Man of Steel. And it wasn't even called Superman. The last movie that was literally called Superman was 1978. So I'm really hoping that this movie... Oh, I'm sorry, earlier. Our last one wasn't Man of Steel. Our last one was Batman v Superman, but just directly Superman, Man of Steel. I'm hoping that this film, from the trailers, from what we've seen, it's going to return to its roots. Bring back the classic rivalry with Lex Luthor, and bring us back to what people like about this franchise, and hopefully make it $1 billion franchise. Even if it's not $1 billion franchise, like an $800 million franchise, $700 million, $600 million, in that above $500 million range, But hey, there's still time to tell. I think it's gonna do pretty well. But again, all 3 movies, what our audience is gonna go see. Big dinosaur movie. The MCU that they've trusted for a long time. But then you have basically the face of DC, or one of the 2 faces of DC, that the other one being Batman. It'll probably be successful, but there's a lot going against it. So, and then you have Fantastic Four First Steps, which, again, a lot riding on this one. If this is the movie leading directly into Doctor Doom. So I think they're going to put that a lot in its marketing, kind of showing that you have this, and then you have what it moves into, which is Avengers Doomsday next year. If this movie doesn't do well, then next year when we get Doomsday, it's going to be a complete mess. So this movie, A, needs to do well. I think that it's going to push in the marketing so people know this is the big movie that's going to be leading into Doomsday. And I think they're going to let people know that. They're going to make sure people know that this is the next big film leading into Doomsday. If you don't see it, who knows? You might be in trouble, dude. Because Doomsday coming up, it's going to be pretty important to this. I think they're going to push on their marketing. I also think they're going to push on their marketing that this is a different kind of MCU movie. So say, like, you enjoy a lot of things with the MCU, but, like, there's certain things you don't like. I think this movie will calm a lot of people with that. And I'm hoping after a lot more good faith is built up with Brave New World and with Thunderbolts Asterisk, whatever they changed the name to, I'm hoping that with those two, a lot more good faith will be built up. So a lot more people will go see a Fantastic Four. It will lead into Doomsday. And then whatever else movies are coming out in 2026. So Spider-Man 4, all that. And then you get to 2028 or 2027, 2028. Whatever happens then, it's going to tell us a lot. But, yeah, overall, I think this is probably going to go into close to $1 billion. I mean, this is leading into an Avengers movie. Those movies are billion-dollar makers. Other than the MCU, we don't really know. But there is other good faith built up with the Fantastic Four to where it's not a Marvel situation. It's not a The Marvel situation where none of these characters are really familiar. These characters are. These characters have an established lore. They have an established universe. And I feel like there's a lot more they're going to tell us in their marketing, ramping up for the release of this film. And I'm excited for it. And I'm hoping it probably will lead up close to $1 billion. But just because of this release window, from the 2nd to the 11th to the 25th, the fact that those are all so close together is definitely going to make some studios nervous and maybe make some other decisions, like really pushing out their marketing. But, I mean, it's going to be a tough race. It really will be because, I mean, we don't know that much now. We really have to see where the hype is at when we get closer to the beginning of July. Pushing into the month. See where we're at then. And I'll probably make a part 2 to this. But right now, those are my estimates. Maybe a little. I mean, I think more people are going to come to their senses for Jurassic World after Dominion came out. I'm hoping for like a between $600 and $850 million range. But who knows? I'm probably wrong. It might go into the billions. But I feel like since we're getting a more crowded release schedule this year, thinking more of a $600 million to $750 million. Superman, I'm thinking about the same, maybe 850 leading into the early billions, like maybe like a 1 billion, a little over that. Fantastic Four, don't think it's gonna reach $1 billion, but I think kind of going for that 700 some million, maybe a little bit less in like the $600-500 million range. But yeah, so that is where my headspace is at. Those are kind of my predictions. What do you guys think? If y'all enjoyed this video or any other content, please subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.